What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott. We are back with another video. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this channel. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell button. Make sure you like this video, okay? Now, today we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of New York. Yes, we're going to be talking about Bethenny Frankel. She is back with another adventure. She always got something going on, but now she has a new podcast, so we're going to tell you all about that. Then we got some news and some tea from that good Jill Zarin about that good Dorinda Medley and her not wanting her to come to the cash trip to the Berkshires and her being vile and threatened by that good Jill Zarin and how she yelled, "Bravo, bravo, bravo." Get into this, okay? First things first, let's start off with your girl Bethenny Frankel. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I totally miss Bethenny Frankel on The Real Housewives of New York City. I wish she was still on this season for my own selfish reasons because I feel like this show is a bunch of chaos right now. It's a bunch of chaos with no real storylines, no real through lines except Ramona behaving badly, Dorinda sometimes behaving badly, and I don't even know what Sonia Morgan and Luann have going on at this point in time. The only person that's actually really watchable this season is Leah because she's new, she's fresh, she's exciting. You know, she has a story that I feel like we can go some places with because we haven't seen her story explored before because she is new. All of these other ladies on the show have been seen and heard so many times with nothing really new to contribute. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I digress about that. Bethenny Frankel has a new podcast, and let's get into what it's all about, okay? Now, she is launching the self-made mogul podcast, Just Be, okay? Now, the Endeavor Content podcast will feature conversations with Mark Cuban, Netflix CMO Bazoma St. John, and UFC President Dana White. Now, it's going to feature business, lifestyle, and beyond style content, okay? Now, it's interesting because it will launch in September of this year and it will be available on Apple, Spotify, and other listening platforms. Everybody is jumping onto the podcasting route, but I think it is an interesting way to further your brand, okay? Now, you guys know that she also has the podcast, right? But she also has a number of other projects since she left Bravo. And one of those being the HBO Max reality series, The Big Shot with Bethenny, in which aspiring business moguls compete for a job on her executive team. Now, it's sort of like an apprentice show that hails from MGM TV, Mark Burnett, and Frankel's Be Real Productions, okay? Now, here is the thing with this whole situation with Bethenny. I'm not mad at it. Bethenny is very outspoken. I feel like a podcast will be a much better route for her, more so than a talk show, because I feel like with a talk show with Bethenny and they're going to try to put her into a certain type of very family-friendly box, and Bethenny is just not that girl. Bethenny is a very be real, in-your-face type of chick, you know what I'm saying? So she's going to really bring it to you like she wants to bring it to you, you know what I'm saying? She's going to talk that stuff like she wants to talk. But unfortunately, what that could also mean is that she ends up getting in a lot of trouble. Now, I know what you guys are going to say, and what I'm thinking about is Stassi Schroeder, okay? Two different people, I know, but I'm just going to give you this example. Sometimes when people get on their podcast, they get a little bit too chatty about some things that they probably shouldn't get chatty about. You know what I'm saying? A podcast format allows you to talk ad nauseum. A lot of times when people talk ad nauseum, they get themselves in a lot of trouble by saying some real crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? To fill up the airspace. You know what I mean? Or to try to be funny. Or they just might say some things because they end up getting a little bit too comfortable that they would never say on a nationally syndicated television program or maybe a YouTube video. Now, that is one of the reasons why I, too, actually just make 10-minute videos, because I feel like that does not give me a whole lot of time to run off on a whole bunch of topics that I probably shouldn't be discussing. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me focused, it keeps me right on target, and it keeps me from saying anything insanely crazy. But I'm here for the mess because it allows me the opportunity to report on anything crazy that she says, okay? Shout out to you, Bethenny, for your new adventure. We do wish you well. We wish you much success, and we really, really wish that you would come back to Real Housewives of New York. Moving right along, let's talk about Dorinda Medley and Jill Zarin. Now, if you guys saw the Real Housewives of New York this past week, the mess that it was, okay? That Halloween party was a complete mess. But your girl Jill Zarin made an appearance, okay? Now, You guys may have noticed that Jill said something kind of snide about Dorinda, about how she said something to the effect about how, what is this? Somebody walks into a room and Dorinda attacks them or something like that. So she said that, right? So apparently Jill was trying to come on the trip to the Berkshires for filming with the ladies. And that good Dorinda blocked it. Not only did she block it, when Jill tried to have a conversation with her being on camera and why she was being so mean to her, apparently, according to Jill, that good Dorinda yelled, "Bravo, bravo, bravo." And we'll get into what that means for those of you guys who don't know in just 1 second. Take a look at this.
So that weekend up to Dorinda's house. I'm glad I didn't, because I think it would have been bad for me. But I wanted to, and Dorinda blocked me. She was very mean to me at the party that night, at the Halloween party. And I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. She was so mean to me. I said, Dorinda, did I do something to you? You've been very mean to me. And she goes, bravo, bravo, bravo. We're not doing this on the show. You're just using me to get on the show. I'm like, what?
I didn't see that. You told me about it.
No, I took it aside. It was very hurtful. And I like Dorinda. I like Dorinda season 1. I don't like Dorinda this season. She's not nice. I think she's angry and hurt and coming from a place of all that. But the reality is, I don't see her being very nice to anyone. Did you?
Viewers didn't see a few times where she offered Tinsley an olive branch and Tinsley didn't take it. So people thought I was crazy when I defended Dorinda a little bit, saying that, yes, I think Dorinda was very, very hard on Tinsley, but I also said that it was not all one-sided. There was a time even in the Hamptons where I had said to Tinsley, she's offering you an olive branch, Tinsley, take it, but Tinsley was escalating it. So no, I don't think a lot of the comments were warranted, but I don't think Dorinda was as bad as she came across.
Well, that's right. Well, that happens a lot. But I have to tell you, she was vile to me at the party that night. But I think she was like on a broom. You know what I mean? Like she just like went off on Ramona and she was in that mode. I don't know if she maybe just had a fight with John. I don't know what was really going on in her life. All I know is she saw me as this huge threat. Luann wanted to bring me on because Tinsley had left the show and she saw that as an opening, and I told Luann, I love you for being my friend and wanting to do that. I would love to come on for Halloween and maybe for the weekend, but then I'm going to Florida for the winter. I was leaving. I was leaving, but I could do that week or two, and I look forward to it. And Dorinda just pulled the rug right from under me.
It would have been fun to have you there.
It would have been fun. And I just wanted to do that, and that was it. I was going to Florida. But I don't know why Dorinda felt so threatened by me. If anything, I would have been very loyal to her because we have a history together. I would have been a good person to back her up against Ramona.
Right. And you and Ramona, there's no love lost. So you definitely
No, so I don't know why she saw me so bad. I would have been an ally. So, and that's what this game is like. It's like a game of chess, and you have allegiances and stuff like that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's really get into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first. This was a very interesting live that Jill had with that good Elise. Elise is doing a lot of press. Now, Elise is probably smart. A lot of people feel like Elise is not really bringing a lot to the show, but to me, she is bringing a much needed sense of balance to the show. I feel like we really need it because we don't really have a logical anchor for this show. You know what I'm saying? Luann has always been off in her own little world. Sonia is usually a hot, drunken mess. Dorinda is very much like, very militant this season. You know what I'm saying? And almost kind of like a bully. And Ramona is just plain nasty. So then you have Leah being the newcomer, and she's kind of wild, and she got some antics too. So you need a grounding force on this show like Elaine to sort of balance out all of the crazy. Without all of the crazy, it's just like it's madness. It's just plain madness in every episode with no real direction that we the fans can really see. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you can see they are leading us someplace with the storyline. There doesn't seem to be a place that we're being led except pure madness on this show. And I feel like Elise brings them to a grounding level, okay? It may not be exciting for most people, but I feel like it provides the show with some much needed balance. You know what I'm saying? Now, anyway, she's having this conversation with Elise, but Elise seems very much like, I'm not going against Dorinda because we cool, you know what I'm saying? But Jill is like putting it all out there in the streets. Now, what was real interesting was Jill was doing that same type of talk that she used to do back in the day when she was actually featured on the show. She talking about how she would have been on Dorinda's side and would have had her back against Ramona because her and Ramona are not cool. They haven't been cool in years, and they weren't even cool when she was on the show. So for me, it's like you're talking this whole alliance talk that a lot of people. I feel like that's one of the reasons why Jill was let go from this show, because she was trying to be too strategic. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just coming back in, assessing the situation for what it is, and then making your mark on your own, coming into a show like this with some preconceived notions about how you're going to align yourself really makes this show seem, I hate that, because it doesn't come across as being organic. Now, you could think that in your head, but to actually say it aloud is something that I just feel like it just breaks down. You know, it takes us to a place that we shouldn't know about, because the reason why we like to watch these shows, in my personal opinion, is for organic drama. You know what I'm saying? Dorinda arguing with Ramona about whether or not she invited Sonia and Dorinda because she wanted to give that guy some free promotion. That to me was a little bit more organic, because that is something that it seems like Ramona would actually naturally do. You know what I'm saying? She just comes across like that type of person. You know what I mean? But I feel like the way Jill was trying to come into this scene, I feel like almost like Dorinda kind of maybe saw right through it and was like, nah, girl, you're not getting up on this thing. You're not getting up on this. But another thing I'm kind of wondering about, I'm like, well, dang, like, I mean, to kind of go, I wouldn't have done it if I was Dorinda. I wouldn't have gone there. I would have just kind of been like, okay, girl, come on, come play with us. Come play, come on, do it. We done lost Tinsley, you know what I'm saying? Let's make this show as good as we can by adding as many dynamic characters as we possibly can. And whether you like it or not, whether she is calculating or not, Jill Zarin is a really polarizing and a good player on Real Housewives of New York. And I think it would have been refreshing with Tinsley out of the way to see her come back in. But next season, they're going to have to do some serious recasting. And one of those people that I think that they need to add in is Leah's sister. I think that would add a truly interesting family dynamic on Real Housewives of New York that we never have really had, similar to what we have seen with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, where there's this family connection on the show. I think that adds another layer of drama that is much needed. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this whole situation down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, and y'all know what's up. I'm going to see you in the next video.